Bit of data manipulation, put it into the engine and come out with some outputs. One thing I really wanted to do before I got it today was to learn how to turn these shapes into Excel coordinates. Andrew was really helpful on that. Learned how to download the KML files and work on it and turn it into some Excel and then dump it into Access, which is what I did, and came out with where is it? Views like this. So just all the coordinates that make up, in this case, 5 different Birmingham wards. Took me about 4 hours to do the first one, and the others were a bit quicker. But I've put another field on there called measure, just to differentiate them on the final map, so that it looks slightly different colours, so you can see which bit is which. Effectively, then what I took was some data from certain postcodes that would fit into those wards, so it's a subset of the whole picture. So this is from the voluntary organisations and what the council has given them in terms of grants, what have you. So effectively, I then dropped it into this here, which is what we call the Web Snaps wizard. Okay, let me just tell you what Web Snaps actually does. Effectively, it's a programming language that enables you to build XML schemas, chuck it at a factory, which then turns it into .NET code. And this is a user-friendly wizard to cut out that XML editing bit, so people like myself can quickly create web apps. And this is, well, web apps to a certain format. And this is what we came out with, was this, what's called, inelegantly called a voluntary spend query. But effectively, I just put past the initial screen. We've got our map, we've got some pins, and we've got a table underneath which relates to the pins that are displayed above. And if I just pop back and tweak this a bit, so if I want to see adults and communities, grants, those are the only pins that pop up, and the table is amended accordingly. Gives me the total spend for 2011-2012, and if I want to dig deeper on one of them, then I can get a full, any other fields that I've also got built into the spreadsheet can chuck on the screen. It's a very, very simple output and relatively easy to get together once you've done the sort of data prep work. I can switch off the overlays for the wards, so you can just see the pins. Go back a step. Actually, switches them all back on again. Hold on, here's that again. So, and this is on what is it? OpenStreetMap, which Matt didn't know too much about before today. So effectively, yeah, that's your map. If I switch off the walls, then you dig around to your heart's content. The table, got complete control over what data appears in the table. I can sort it accordingly, and let's say total up the fields that can be toppled and all the rest of it. I'll just give you a quick view of what that looks like from the wizard perspective. So if we go in here and actually in modify mode, basically it's just pointing at the Access database that I created. There's a particular query that it's using for the tabular data, and notice the source fields that are going to be there. So here really I'm deciding on which fields appear on which of these simple app screens, and there's other things you can do with them. There's a series of presentation fields, so I can add a filter, a sort of dynamic filter at the map level. No charts on this one, but I've got a couple of overlaying maps. So you can have any number of overlaying maps. So this is the wards one, which is built around a boundary theme. So you see that once I've got my longitude and latitude the right way around and didn't have Quinton off East Africa, you just suck the data out, pops it onto the map, and it's obviously connected to that, okay. And I've also got an overlap there with the pins, slightly different layout. All that is pretty simple to use, has to be. And there's some, I can add security and some rules, and basically what I do, if any changes I make to the system, I can instantly then upload. I'll just give you an upload, bombs it up to the system. Hold on, if I press the right button, and so there's about 5,000 records going up. And effectively what it's doing is creating the website on the fly with all that data wrapped up in it somehow in the SQL database. And away we go. So it's very easy to go back and make an amendment either to the data or to the system itself. I thought I'd just quickly show you the one I did as prep before coming here, which was the Birmingham budget, because that shows just a slightly different. No, what? Go back to the jobs. Again, just a slightly different taste on it. Obviously, this is not aimed. This is aimed at people with a little bit of techie know-how who can take data and want to see it relatively simply, but visually, that they can interact with it. This stuff can be made totally public, so for people to use, or it can obviously be built for sort of in-house use. So if I just look at this one that I did before, actually. Didn't want to upload it, I want to just go straight to it. So straight to it in the web browser. So this is actually looking at that budget book, which is effectively has got a summary Excel spreadsheet and then about 12 others. Took all of them into a single spreadsheet, and effectively from that, taking all the individual items, you can then summarise them. So this is what effectively this is. These are the headline expenditure types: adults, communities, children, what have you. And what we've got down here is the what do you call it? The aggregated totals. And then if I want to, I can go down to the next level, break down into the individual service itself. So you can have drill downs within the app. You can have several layers of drill down depending on the complexity of the data to get right down to the bottom factors. So you can have the Pareto chart type things. You can have it bar charted. You can have it scattered or even funneled if you really want to. But effectively, that's just I think an easier way to interact to that 40-page Excel spreadsheet, which I think I downloaded off Andy's site just to get at the raw data. I must say, it really only took me, once I got the data in shape, half an hour to produce that. So that's where we're coming from with this system. Any questions? Any comments? What do you think about it?
The one before on the budget book, where you've got the bar chart, that's really good for the kind of managers in Birmingham City Council who maybe don't have time to read the massive long PDF file that is our budget book, and you can just you can easily see, shown by the category and the type there, you can swap between and just see how they match up. So yeah, that's a really cool thing for some of our managers to look at.
Obviously you can do this sort of online filter as well. If you're just interested in constituencies, you go straight to it, like so. Yeah. And obviously it's tabulated accordingly.
Is it your website or is it a virtual website that you're using?
It's actually hosted on our one of our servers at the moment. Yeah, it's websnap3.web.coop.
Is it paid for use?
The way we wrap it up is as a sort of an annual service, a software as a service environment, unless people want to buy the thing off and on. But we're trying to do it at a reasonable price. The background is it's been used in PCTs and a few NHS hospital trusts, lots of people responsible for reporting stuff that the teams need to see. So we're just interested in exploring really what we can do with this. And I mean, I'd really love to get some bubbles coming out of this, whether that's possible or not technically. But as I say, the guy who originally put this together who's devised how XML can turn into .NET somehow. We also use it for the bespoke environments. We can use that as a rapid application development system for bespoke systems that include this sort of technology. So I'll give you just a quick view on one of those that we've got out there. This was something done for, this is some sort of climate, it's what cooperatives are doing regarding climate threats. So we've got a map here, funnily enough, which doesn't look too unlike what we've got there before. And if I go to that one and click on it, we find a case study relating to Powerhouse Europe, the big greenhouse and the energy exchange. So a load of gunk and another map. So effectively, it's built upon the simple schema, and then we developed it with the underlying functionality that's in the system. So, as I say, we can either have it as a tool for power users or semi-power users to do their own stuff, or it's something we can actually develop bigger systems out of. And there it is. But anyway, really enjoyed today. Thanks for all your help when I needed it, certainly when it came to these things. That's a big step forward for me to be able to do that. And if anybody's interested or thinks they might know anybody who's interested, I'll be really pleased to talk to you without being too salesy. Thanks so much.